Alright folks, the rundown part 3, let's get it. So today we just got news of a strike going on in the East Coast, all the ports. So apparently they're going to be shutting down and striking for who knows how long. And so the market took a little bit of a turn. But as you can see here, the NASDAQ was already selling off. Right? We're ready to pull back and retest this area. The Dow also was already starting to sell off, show some weakness. Maybe coming down to close this window, it opened down here. So the news of a strike is not that new to us, because we already knew we were having a little bit of trouble in these areas coming up anyhow. Same thing with most of our stocks were already looking like they were trying to pull back. So the news of a strike is nothing new. So we just gotta trust our averages and our support and resistance areas and continue on. So to pick up where we left off, I believe we left off at here at IWM, which was it sold off a little bit and retested this 20-day for support. So we have to keep an eye on this area, see if it fails or holds in the next few days because of the rumors of striking. But for the most part, so like Lululemon was already selling off going into the holiday season. And let's see, so it was already, wow, it fell from 516 all the way down here to 226. Now it's running into some resistance at 268 and selling off. And we also got a little bit of a sell-off today because of course, the strike notification. So we may continue to see some more selling off in Lululemon, but it's been falling for a long time now anyhow. So they've been having issues long before this strike. Love Southwest Air. We got it sold off a little bit, but it held support at this 5 SMA. Looks like it's got the 200 acting as support, the 150 starting to curl up to show support. And we have to wait and see what happens in the next couple of days. See if it continues higher or continues to sell off due to this news. I'm not sure how that would affect the airlines. I would think that maybe the airlines might be picking up some of that cargo and flying it to wherever it needs to go. I don't know how they go. Anyhow, airlines don't seem to be getting too much of an effect by this, by the notion of a strike happening. We got the 150 coming up. We need to have to come up, curl up, and get above the 200, and keep our averages going higher. And Southwest should continue to go higher and retest this 3164 area. When we get above that, then it's off to the races. Next up would be Macy's. Macy's took a big hit when they heard about the strike. It fell from 1548 to 1525, so it dropped 20 cents because of the news. It was starting to make a nice little climb here. It was retesting this 150. Had a nice green bar yesterday, but today, of course, it put in a little wick to the downside, which and it pushed it back up. But the news came late in the day, I think, when we got the news of the strike. Must have been late in the day because most of the stocks did start selling off after the close of business today. So we'll see what happens with Macy's and look for support at around 15.15. If that doesn't hold, then we're going back to retest 14. 14 doesn't hold, then we're going lower to down around here, which is 1142. Alright, that's Macy's. Next up, Mara. Mara's continue to sell off. So of course the strike news didn't bother it, and it was already going down anyway. We want to retest this 1333 area, so look for the support there. If that doesn't hold, it's got another area in here at about 1243. If that doesn't hold, look up below, going lower. Alright, next up is Mickey D's. McDonald's, MCD, it's been on a nice tear, going higher and higher and higher. It's gone up since that July to today. 3 months. It's gone up. It's at 251 to 300, so it's going up $50 in a month, which ain't bad. Had a red day today, of course. Retesting this high of 302. And then in the after hours, when we got the news of the supply chain issues, it dropped down to 301 in the after hours. So 301 will put it back down around here somewhere, about there or so. So look out tomorrow morning and see where it opens up at, and see where it wants to head, if it wants to continue going lower or not. It should get caught by this support area around 297. If that doesn't hold, and look for a support at around 292. And our 20-day moving average should also act as support. We got a 150 coming up to act as support as well. What we don't want to see is it get below this 200-day moving average, and we want to see that 200-day moving average turn up. And then we know that they figured out what they're going to do about the supply chain issue. They've corrected it, and now we're going back higher. All right, so that's it on Mickey D's. Next up is Meta. Meta put in a nice little doji red bar here today. It was going positive, and then of course there came the news, and so look out for that. It might continue lower tomorrow. Tomorrow is going to be Wednesday, of course. So Wednesday, if we open up below this 5 SMA, look out, because it's going to use that 5 SMA as the resistance, like it did here. See, it respected that 5 SMA. So we want to stay above this 5 SMA. If we don't, then it's going to start acting as a resistance, and then we're going to look for this 543 area for support, and the 20-day to come up and also have a support. Then we got the 150 coming in to act as support. We got all these moving averages that are nicely moving spaced apart, you know, and that's good to see with the stop if you're in it for the long haul. But of course, you know, we don't know what's going to happen with. I don't see how supply chain issues would affect them, but you never know. Okay, so that's Meta. It's looks like it's wants to continue going higher. Once the fear clears out about this strike. I don't know how long the news are going to pump it up and keep people. You know, I didn't find out about it till just now as I was watching the news. So, and then I said, "Oh, let me go check and see what happened." And here it is. I see everything selling off in the after hours. So, watch out in this area for support. If that doesn't hold, then of course, watch out for moving averages to act as support, and the retest in here and try to get back above to continue higher. If that doesn't hold, if the 200 doesn't hold, then our next stop is going to be down around $404 on Meta. Next up, Microsoft. Of course, sold off in the after hours. It was already, man, it was selling off pretty good already. They put in, what's it, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 days of selling off in Microsoft. So it was already going down. So whatever's happening, of course, is not affecting them. Something else is. 150 is trying to act as a support here. It came back to check in with the 200 again. As you can see here, it broke through it, came back up, couldn't hold here, then it bounced back up again. Now it's coming back to retest this 200 moving average, and if this holds, We look to go higher. If it doesn't, then we got our next stop going down. Maybe retest this area here, or 385. If that doesn't hold, then look out below. Alright, next up is MU Micron Technology, and it gapped up, and now it's coming back to close that window right in here. So it wants to close that window early. It's planning on going higher again. It's not wasting any time closing that window because it wants to go higher. Okay, so we can get it closed down here at around $95. And around and head back up, we got our 20-day coming up to act as support. We got our 150 starting to curl over. And we got our 200 way up here. And of course it tried to gap up over 200 and leave all these moving averages behind. And you know that wasn't going to last. So here it is coming back to retest this area at $95. Pick up some more buyers. And maybe retest it as high as again. Up here at around... here at around 114. Alright. So that is Micron MU. Next up is NEE Nextera Energy. And it, after hours sold off, dropped back down to retest the 85-82 area. Right in here, somewhere in here. That was the previous support area on the 2-minute chart. So it's probably going to come back down and retest this area here at 81.07. We got the 20-day moving average coming up to act as support, so who knows, maybe that might catch it also. And turn it around and make it head back up. We got maybe some support area at $82 as well. So, but we know we have our support line here at 81.07, which was a previous high back here in the past. So, Nextera Energy, once we get a retest in here, maybe once they head higher to retest 93.73. And then see what happens from there. But right now it's definitely bullish. All moving averages say we're bullish. So you can sit in that trade until you break down below 200, or you can do whatever you want to do because it's your world. I'm not suggesting you buy, sell, or hold anything. I'm just telling you what I see, and I see a positive moving stock. Bullish. Alright, next up is Netflix. And Netflix, it was already, you put in 2 red bars and a green and then now another red. That looks familiar. I think we covered one already that did kind of the same, did a similar move. What was that? I forget what it was. But anyway, so 2 reds, a green, and then now another red. So it looks like we're going to go lower. And then this after hours, it sold off to about 704. So around here, which wasn't really much of a drop. It pretty much had already retested that low anyway. Maybe they already had the news and just came out here and see how much they were going to pull back. Anyway, they caught the 20-day for support. We got the 150 coming in support. 150 has been acting as a pretty good support for Netflix. And then the 200 is coming up also to provide some support. So we may end up getting this move here, over here. But that remains to be seen. Alright. Meanwhile, we got a lot of support coming up to help, so we'll see how well it does. It may just be, dealing with this resistance area here at 711, So it might want to come back and get some more strength and momentum to hit higher. Okay, but that's Netflix. Right now it's looking pretty good. It's got this $579.64 support area. It's been let's see what it's been doing in the past. It's been in the channel there. So it not really a channel, but it has been kind of bouncing around in here so far. So there is a good chance that this might turn into a channel and it just bounce around for a little bit on Netflix. Or it may just break through and continue higher, or it may just pull back some more and retest this support area down in here. But right now it's looking like it wants to pull back a little bit and get its bearings before making the decisions. Alright, that's Netflix. Next up, Nvidia. Nvidia was already selling off also. Kinda like I think a lot of you guys were already doing their thing before this news, so you know, a lot of times you gotta have a reason. I think I've said that many a time before. You gotta have a reason to take those profits. You can't just take them on your own. People be like, "What you doing to it?" I know you're trading it. So there's another that 2 bars of green and another red to take it out. So let's see. Nvidia is a information technology, and Netflix, I think that's communication. Netflix is communication services. And I can't remember, was it Microsoft? Microsoft has the 2 bars of green and a red. And Microsoft is an information technology also. So communications and information technologies have been selling off, looks like. Let me put that in here. Microsoft is an information technology. Right? Yeah, Microsoft. Big enough to see. Yeah, let's make it pretty. There we go. Microsoft Information Technology. And we got our Netflix's communication services. And Nvidia, back to Nvidia. So Nvidia got it selling off already, finding support at the 20 and the 150. If that doesn't hold, sorry, I don't mean to do this on your time, but you need to fix this stuff. I'm going to make sure I'm going to get this done and go through these. Make it Nvidia information technology. Final support at the 20. It's been using the 20 as support here. You can see where it popped up. Now it's back to retest it again. If the 20 doesn't hold, we're going to come back down into this area here and retest this area at around 102, which would be a nice little buying area for me. I like to get some more of it down here, if I can. So I'm rooting for the pullback, and hopefully it won't be too deep, but I suspect that, we get this little pullback, we get the money we need in order to pay off our dividends at the end of the year, and we'll start heading back up. Alright, so that's NVIDIA. Look for the 20 to hold. If it doesn't hold, then look for a retest down here at around $100 or so, 90 to $100. And then the 200 day is coming up at about $95. So anywhere between 95 and today's prices. Look forward to find some support and maybe head back higher. But it's been kind of in this little channel right here for quite a few days, bouncing back and forth, oscillating back and forth. NVIDIA has for the last, so it's just been kind of slowly selling off. Really, it's been a real. It did have a higher low here, but then it had a lower high here. So yeah, keep an eye out for that one. It had this window that opened up, so we know that there's a vacuum in this area here. So, and it's got a window down here that I'm not sure if it's closed or not, but I don't think we're going to come way down here. I do suspect that we'll get some support in this $95 area and then continue higher. Alright, that's NVIDIA. Next up is NWBO, which is a biotherapy. They're working on cancer drugs. And it's, as you can see, a 33-cent stock. It's been oscillating here in this area, this channel, collecting strength to go higher. It's got a nice 20-day coming underneath. It's got the 5 kind of pushing down. It's got this resistance. As you see, the 150 has been a resistance all the way from back here. Because every time you hit that 150, it pushes it down. So it's trying it again here. We got a lot of consolidation of red bars in this area. There's a lot of red bars right there. They can't really make a decision which way they want to go. So keep an eye on this one. I think it's ready to pop up and go that way, because they can't seem to force it down any lower than this, especially with this 20-day coming in. So it looks like 31 is the floor on this one, 31 cent. So look for it to try to turn around and head up higher any day now. I don't force now biopharmaceutical, biotherapy, biotechnology company develops personalized immune therapies for cancer in the United States and internationally. So I don't know if supply chain issues will affect it or not. Looking at our 2-minute charts, it doesn't show any sell-off in the after hours. So we'll have to see what happens tomorrow morning when it wakes up. So definitely is having a hard time breaking this 31 cent area. So keep an eye on that. And that's NWBO. Next up is ON Semiconductor. And it's been just consolidating in this area here. It's just been chopping back and forth, real choppy. Can't get above the 200 and doesn't want to go lower than $66. So it's got a window open here. Uh-oh. That's not what it wants to see. It wants to see something else here. It's got a window open here. So that can give us pause. Maybe we might want to come down and close that window at some point. At about $62 there. So maybe that's its problem. Maybe it just can't decide if it can go higher without coming back and closing that window. Alright, so yeah, look out below on semiconductors. I think we're going lower on that one. Come down here and close that window. But it remains to be seen. That's on semiconductor. ON. Next up, PANW. Palo Alto Networks. Big red bar. Moving average is rolling over. 150 couldn't hold it. 2 reds, a green, and a red. Sounds familiar. Is this another information technology? Let's see. Why? Yes, it is. So we know now information technologies are selling off. Alright, so we'll see where they're heading. We might run into some support 327, but I'm not sure if it's going to hold. That's a big red bar right there. And you got 2 reds take out a green and a big red bar. Yeah, I think we're going to go lower on this one, come down here and see if the 200-day will hold it. Then we're going to have resistance of this 327 again. And if this can't get through that and head higher, then we're going to come down and retest this 307. And if we get below this 200-day moving average like we did here, I don't know if it'll survive it the next time around. It may want to go lower. But that remains to be seen. We'll see what happens once it comes down here and retests this 200 and this 307 area. So we may catch some support in here if it drops fast enough, only to just support here and then go higher. But if this 307 doesn't hold, then we're probably going to go lower and retest this low down here. This low, yeah. Low. At 284.43. Okay, so that's Palo Alto. Definitely keep an eye on this. Palo Alto, I think that was one of Homegirl's favorites. She had a couple of them: Palo Alto, Nvidia, and something else. My neighbor down the road in Southern Cal. Anyhow, so that's Palo Alto. Look for support at 200. 200 doesn't hold, and look for support at 307. If that doesn't hold, and look for support at 284.43. Next up is Palantir, which Palantir does always drive me crazy because of how it moves. You can see it's just like you don't know where it's gonna go. Nice green bar here, window open here, window open here, window open there. So this was an area right in here where there's just buyers galore. And here, I don't know if flutter this up any more than it already is. So yeah, it's already starting to sell off. 2 greens or 2 reds, a red, green, 2 green or 2 reds, a green and a red. So we're already getting our sell off in Palantir technology also, which also is an information technology stock. So yeah, look out below. Maybe wants to come back and another window. Good night. Maybe wants to come down and close these windows. The winter's coming. It's getting cold out, so we'll be letting the heat out in a minute. So these windows need to be closed. So that just make that gray too, because it's part of that window. All right, so 20 doesn't hold, and look for it to come back and retest this 32.52 area. I'm sorry, I'm thinking 31 to close this window. Why come here and stop and not close this? I've seen it happen before, but at some point it's going to have to be reconciled. So if we do get here, you might want to wait and see what happens from here. And see, maybe we might go back, retest, and then come back and close that window. Who knows? You may want to just run around in this channel. Right now, it looks like it wants to sell. It's not selling off too strong, but it is putting in more red than green at this point. Alright, so look for a retest of 32.52 if the 20-day doesn't hold. Next up is Qualcomm, and Qualcomm is a dividend stock, and it's been selling off. Let me guess, information technology? Yes, information technology. So Qualcomm's selling off. This had 4 red bars in a row. Everything's getting below. The 200 is below the 200. It's below the 150. It's below the 5. And now it's getting below the 20. This bad boy, I have a feeling, is going to go lower. We got 4 red bars in a row. We might see a green at some point, but I don't think it's going to do much. I think it's going to be green and then get taken out by a red. And we're going to go lower to retest this 152 area. And if that doesn't hold, got nothing down here to catch it. So if 152 doesn't hold, look out below on Qualcomm. Next up is the Qs, and the Qs, 2 reds, a green and a red. What do you know? Look for the retest of the 20, look for the retest of the 150, and look for the support of the 465.48 area. If that doesn't hold, then we're going to come down to retest 455.77. If that doesn't hold, or 200 should be moving up at that point. If 200 doesn't hold, we get below the 200, then I think we're going to be in a down market. And everybody should hold on to the seats. Next up is Riot. It's selling off. It's got a 200 rolling over. Got the 150. 20 was trying to act as some support. Kind of held it up a little bit, but I think these 3 are going to come down and beat it down, and we're going to get more of a sell-off into the end of the year. If it takes out this $6.36 area, we're going lower. So watch out below on Riot. Next up is the Russell 2000, and it's been selling off. Got some red bars, here, green, and now another red. Retesting this 20 and this 150. If they don't hold, we're going to retest this 21, 26, 18 area. If that doesn't hold, then we're going to come down here to about 2000. And if that doesn't hold, we're probably going to be heading into a down market. Next up is RWM. ProShares short Russell 2000. So this you can short the Russell here, and you can see it at the same thing. We got a red bar, now we got a green bar coming in, and we found some support down here at around. Oh, you know what? Cancel that. Delete that. Because that green, this green here should have been down there. Should have been right about there. No, not there. Yeah, right there. Alright. So look for the short, the Russell short, to retest the $20 area in the next few weeks, but it's first got to get through the 20 and the 150 and make them support them to help push them higher. And then it's going to get, if it gets above here, then we're going to have the 200 to contend with. As you can see, it's been an overhead resistance for a while now. So we got to get above that, retest it, make sure it supports us, and then try to get above this 200 to continue higher. If that happens, then we know that the other parts of the market is selling off. Okay, so that's the short. If you want to short the Russell, you want to use RWM as the ticker. If you want to short the Russell, if you don't have money to buy puts and stuff like that. All right, so this is RWM. Short. This. Yeah. So 2000. All right. How we short the Russell. So we got a few more to go. That's probably enough for tonight. SAIA has been selling off. It's below the 200. 200 has been acting as a resistance area. So this is a shipping company. Oh, shipping company. So it's probably going to see some more pain because of the strike. So yeah, look for this one to go lower. If this 200 rolls over and starts heading down, it's going to start acting as a resistance and forcing it down. The same thing with this 5 SMA. If it gets over here somewhere and this turns red and goes that way with it, it's going to continue to sell off too, and then this 20-day is going to roll over behind it, and then this 150 is going to get down in here somewhere, and I don't know how low this thing can go. Let's see. Oh, yeah, it can go quite far. We got something way down here. So we're right about 433 right now. So we're right in here somewhere. This is a monthly chart. So let's see. On the monthly chart, maybe we might get some support like in here somewhere. Dang it. Dang it. Dang it. There we go. That's what we want. Boom. We can get set at 358.87. Let's go back to our smaller time frame. Let's try a year. So yeah, there you go. So look for a retest of 358.87. See if it finds support and takes it back up. Maybe all the issues will be taken care of by then. If it doesn't hold in here, if we lose this 20-day, and then if the 150 continues lower, and it's just going to cross through it and head down with it, and then this 5 SMA is just going to continue to chase it down. And you can see here as it respects the 5, right? Here, respecting the 5, respecting the 5, and it respects the 20, and then in the sell-off, same thing, and then 20 just chases it down. And then the 5 catches it again, gets down here, and it found some support in this area, started heading back up, and then the 5 lifted it back up again. So expect it to act the same way on the down as it does on the way up. Okay, so that's it on SAIA. What else we got next? Starbucks. Let's do Starbucks real quick. Starbucks. Wow, look at that gap on Starbucks. That is amazing. That is freaking amazing. That's some gap, boy. Ooh, and it did the same thing over here too. Same thing over here. It didn't even bother closing that one. It just jumped over it. So yeah, what's a better way of doing this? Because yeah, it's really confusing. I guess we can just take this one out. Just remove it. We'll make it dotted. Dotted like that. So I know there's something going on there. Just don't know what. Nah, I'll take it out. That's too confusing. Don't make a difference. Take it out of there. So Starbucks has this huge window it needs to close at some point, down around $76.87. Starbucks might have a problem with supply chain issues. Seeing how, cups and coffee and getting into Christmas, so they like to stock their Christmas cups and all that stuff, and different Christmas cups and whatnot. So I don't know where they are stocked up in their warehouses with supplies, or if they have warehouses full of supplies, but they would be smart to have it. Anyhow, they have a big window to close here, and they got two red bars, a green and a red, and Starbucks consumer discretionary. Consumer discretionary. I think I saw something else that was. I'll figure that out. There's another consumer discretionary that was doing this too. But yeah, look out! It sold off in the after hours. Hit 97.12, which is about what this bar was, and that's doji. So we open up red tomorrow and start to head lower. Look for 95.02 to retest for support. If that doesn't hold, then look for the sell-off to continue going down to $90. If 90 doesn't hold, then we might want to close this window. That's a big window, but it needs to be reconciled. So careful if you're trying to go long in Starbucks. I think we might be getting bearish here real soon. Alright, that's enough for tonight. I got, I don't know, maybe 1, 2, 3, 4. I got another 10 or 20 to go through on my list. And then I'm going to start chopping my list down. It's a little long in the tooth. Unless there's, let me know if there's some other ones you want to hear, or there's some you think we should take out. We'll figure that out, but at least give us a good idea of what's going on out there. I got a pretty good range of stocks in here that kind of give me a good indication of which way the market's heading, and I definitely see some selling coming in right now. So hopefully we'll get a good president, and they'll fix the economy. Alright, thanks for listening, and please like, subscribe, and tell your friends, and have them like and subscribe, and be careful out there. These markets are crazy.